Okay, John, we both know that we need to stop spending money. And we looked at our bank account and we started to identify where we need to start cutting out money so that we at least can start catching up on some of these bills because John, I don't know how we're going to get out of this mess. I'm struggling. I'm really struggling with all of this. And I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know at this point if we can get out of this. Maybe I should just ask my parents for a loan, and and this way we can just catch everything up to date and pay them back with one. Jane, I'm going to stop you right there. You were the one that told me the other day that we were not borrowing any more money. You were the one that told me the other day that we needed to figure out how to budget our money so we stop relying on everybody else. And that's what we're going to do. I understand that you're struggling, but we have got to do this. You told me the other day that we were big grown-up people now, and for once in our marriage and once in our lives, we need to figure out how this happens. And you convinced me to go on board with this cash stuffing thing. And so I understand you're struggling right now, but we have to figure this out ourselves. All right, John. All right. Thank you very much for understanding. I appreciate that. It's a really rough weekend. It really is. But okay, fine. We won't ask my parents for money. We'll see what we can do to try to figure this out. So, all right. So, Jane, where are we at with our bills? Where are we at? Where are we at? All right. So right now we are 1 month past due on our mortgage for $2,100. We are 3 months behind on our electric bill, and that usually runs about $175 a month. So 175 times 3 is $525. We are behind right now on the electric bill, and I just got a final notice. The water bill, we're current. We are 2 weeks behind on the cell phone. The internet is current. These credit cards. Jane, why are these past due amounts so high? John, the finance charge on these credit cards are like 25%. What? We are paying 25% interest on our credit cards? Are you insane? John, please. Please. All right. I'm sorry. I just need to wrap my head around this. I won't get upset anymore. All right. So balance on number 1 is $12,000, and it's around $1,200 past due, I think. Balance $8,000 on the second one, about $880 past due, $15,000 on the third one, balance about $1,700 past due. Student loans, $60,000. We're about a month past due on that one, which is $600. Car payment. Your truck is 1 month past due minus current, and the car insurance is about $240 past due. All right, this is very uncharted territory for both of us. I know, John. I've always managed to just deal with it and wiggle our way out, but it's just accumulated so much over the years that I think we're just at our breaking point right now. All right, John. So when I was watching my videos the other night, whenever it was, one of the content creators said that I need to call all of these people and figure out how we can get out of this. I guess you know what? I'm going to take off. I have a lot of vacation time right now. I'm just going to call my boss. Just let him know that I need a personal day tomorrow. And I think tomorrow I am just going to sit and I'm just going to call all these people, all of them, and just figure out how they can help me or help us. It's not me anymore, it's us. How they can help us get current on these bills. So the other thing that they were saying is that, so this is a monthly bill tracker that I printed off from one of the websites, to start writing down every single month or week or day how much our bills are and when they're due. So I'm going to call then and I'm going to cancel all of the automatic drafts. Cancel all automatic drafts until we can catch back up to date again. I need to know what is coming out on what day, how much we have how much we have budgeted for it. So it's going to take a long time, John. It's going to take us a long time to get out of this. So, all right. So right now the internet bill is current. So they said any of my bills that are currently current, we need to try to keep current on those because you don't want to fall behind on every single one of your bills. So right now the internet bill is current. I just paid it. It's up to date. So it's $100 a month. It's like $99.95. So we're just going to round it to 100. And the due date is on the 3rd of every month. So same thing with the water bill. So the water bill is current. It's about $50 a month and it's due on the 15th of each month. So right now, oh, and my car payment, so Jane SUV payment is $450 a month, and that is due on the 21st of each month. So that one is current. And that's it. Those are the only 3 bills right now that are current that we need to try to stay current on them while we work towards catching up the other ones so that they're current. I'm just going to have to call them. I'm just going to have to call them tomorrow and figure out, do they have a payment plan that we can go on? The credit cards are the ones that are really worrying me because, I mean, we can't use them anymore. We cut them up. So this is going to take a huge hit to our credit. Jane, I don't give a crap about our credit anymore right now anyway. We're not buying anything. We're going to have to make the vehicles work for as long as we possibly can. The other thing that we are going to have to start looking at, John, is we have got to build an emergency fund as soon as possible. These are our bills, but we need an emergency fund. We need to have some money in an account because we get an emergency now, we have to take it out of a bill, and then that bill falls behind. So the two people that I've been binge watching is The Budget Mom and Dave Ramsey. And both of them absolutely agree that we have got to have at least $1,000 in an emergency fund. Now, that is much easier said than done. Much easier said than done. We can't even bring any of this up to date, more or less take money out of our paycheck to build an emergency fund. So what the hell do we do, Jane? What do you mean an emergency fund? We've always just fallen back on our credit cards. Well, John, that's got to stop, because we fell back on our credit cards and now we're over $30,000 in debt in credit card bills. So we're going to have to figure out something else. You know what? We're going to have to start selling shit. That's just what it comes down to. Selling stuff. I am not selling my motorcycle. I never said that you had to sell your motorcycle. That's not what I'm talking about right now. Okay? Not right now. I'm not going to say that there may not be a time, because if it's your motorcycle or our electric bill being shut off and our kids not have running water, you're selling your damn motorcycle. Jane, I am not selling my motorcycle. You know what, John? I'm not going to fight with you about this. I'm not going to cross that bridge. We're not crossing that bridge right now. I'm not even going to go there. But this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going to do to try to contribute to an emergency fund. Maybe you can try something else. I don't know. This is what I'm going to do to try to contribute to our emergency funds. Next weekend, my mom and dad have said that they would take the kids again. And they have offered to take the kids on the weekends until we can figure out what we're going to do. Even if it's just a Saturday. So I am going to go through all of our closets. The kids have got so many outgrown toys, outgrown clothes. I don't know about you, John. We have a boy and a girl. I'm not having any more children. We can't afford it. I don't foresee us having any more kids. And if we did, I'll buy more. But we are going to go through I am going to go through all of our closets. The kids' old clothes that they've grown out of. I'm going to go through my closet. I've got an entire walk-in closet filled with clothes that have tags on them. So Jane is going to go through hers. Any old clothes, I'm going to put it up on Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to put it up on Mercari, whatever it's called, whatever those sites are that they're selling clothes on right now. The kids have so many toys that they don't even play with anymore downstairs in that basement. It's time to purge. It's time to purge toys. And I know from what I can see that they're gonna fly off the shelf. I know it. I know that I can sell all of this. Well, you know what, Jane? If you're doing that, I do have some old tools. I have some old tools in the garage that I can probably sell that I have not used in years. Good. That's great, John. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that, and I think it will help. I think if we can go through and start selling stuff that we're not going to miss. You know, they say if you haven't touched it in 6 months to a year, you're probably not ever going to touch it again. The sentimental stuff we can look at, but we've got to go through some of this stuff that I've bought on Amazon that I've never touched, these kitchen gadgets, so I'll do a purge of the kitchen and see if we can't start selling, you know what I mean, some kitchen gadgets that I just bought on a splurge because it looked really cool, and I know that I can't do that anymore. So no more Amazon for a really long time. So I think starting next Saturday, we're just you and I, we can have a garage sale. You know what I mean? And you know what? Maybe we should start teaching our kids at this point. Let the kids be in this with us. You know what I mean? The kids can help. There's no reason why they can't help. And we start teaching them at this age the value of money. Because if not, they're going to make the same mistakes that we did. So let's get the kids involved. The kids can help me purge their old toys in the basement. You know what I mean? And when they sell, when they sell something, we can let them have a couple of dollars, and we'll get a piggy bank. I've got an old piggy bank or something I can make. Let's get the kids involved in this, and this way they can see us being responsible for our money. You don't think the kids are going to freak out that we're selling all their toys, Jane? No, I think if we make it depends on how we come off on it. If we make it this totally off the chart traumatic experience, then that's how they're going to take it. If we make it that it's going to be a fun experience and this is why we're doing it, and I think it'll be okay. We'll work on it. But we can have a garage sale. You know what I mean? We can sell some stuff on the internet, and then we can have a garage sale also once the weather gets a little bit nicer. But I think the first and foremost, before anything else, is we just need to purge the house. That's what we're going to do. We're going to purge the house, and we're going to start selling shit. And maybe we can make enough money to put it into an emergency fund. And the emergency fund will not be our checking account. We're going to go to the bank, and I'm going to set up a separate savings account for this. That's what they say to do. Don't put it in. It needs to be separate. It's there in case something comes up. There's a car breakdown. There is something that you are not budgeted for. We're going to put it in a separate savings account. There will be no debit card to it. So if we need that money, I have to physically go to the bank and take out cash. We're not tempted to use a debit card on it or anything. So that's I think that's going to be the first thing that we really need to start doing, John, is we have to set up an emergency fund. All right. Okay. We can do that. Will you help me purge the house? Will you help me start putting things? The first thing that we need to do is make room for this. So let's take a portion of the basement. Anything that we need to go to a garage sale or sell, we're going to put in, that little nook that we have in the basement that is just got all of kids' old toys in it. We'll just set that aside for things that we need to sell. All right. Now you do the same thing out in the garage. You make a little corner of the garage that you want to start selling stuff, and we'll in a couple of weeks we will have a garage sale, and I'll start putting stuff on the internet. Okay, that's good. We'll see how much money that we can actually come up with. All right, so the things that we're gonna do, John, just so that we know. And we have to continue to reiterate this to ourselves. The things that we need to do right now to help cut our costs. So we went through our checking account. No more Starbucks. We're going to bring lunch to work. So we're not spending money on lunch at work. I'm going to sit down this afternoon and I'm going to meal prep for the next week. We are going to cancel subscriptions that we don't need. We need to track every single day where our money is going. We're going to work on communication because I think both of us right now are still pretty rattled about this, but we'll work on it. No more family loans. That's it. You're absolutely right. I'm not asking my parents for a loan. We've got to figure this out ourselves. We're stopping to use our credit cards, and we're not using our debit cards anymore. So to add to this, we are going to sell everything. Well, we're going to sell items. How about that? Not everything, but we're going to sell items. We're going to purge closets. We're going to purge the garage. We're going to purge toys. We're just going to purge. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to sell items to set up an emergency fund. And hopefully we can get more than $1,000 together to put into a savings account, and we're going to be done with that. What else can we do, John? Okay. I don't want to do this, Jane. You want to do what? Let's sell the boat. You want to sell the boat? We love that boat. Jane, we don't need a boat. We hardly go out on it anymore. John. Jane, we have to make sacrifices right now. We have all of these gadgets. We have all of this. We don't need the boat. I want to keep my motorcycle for now. I still use it every weekend. We don't use the boat. We can sell the boat. Is the boat paid off? Yes, John, the boat was paid off. Are you sure the kids are going to... Well, the kids are going to have to learn. The kids are going to have to learn. I don't know that we'll get a whole lot of money for it. You know what I mean? I mean, I know that we took it out on the lake. It's old. It's not... Let's just see if I can... how much money I think I can get for the boat. That might help. I think that'll help. You know, as long as we're on the selling thing. We only have the motorcycle and the boat and our cars. You know what I mean? Let me talk to a couple of my friends. And I know this one guy at work has been asking me about that boat for a long time. Maybe he'll be up to selling it. And you know what I mean? Then we don't have to worry about it anymore. You know, we've always said that it took up room in the backyard, and you know, we can do other things with the kids. We have plenty of other friends that have boats. You know what I mean? We can go and go out on the lake and go on one of their boats. Your sister has a boat. We can go on your sister's boat anytime we want. She's out there all the time. All right, John. If you want to sell the boat, we'll go ahead and sell the boat. I'll sell the boat. Okay. So I'm going to put down boat. I think I can probably get a couple of $1,000s for that boat and put it into the savings account, or get some of these bills up to date. I don't know. It's an old boat. So let me just ask around, and we'll see what we want to do. All right, John. Okay. I'm going to leave that one in your hands. I'm going to absolutely leave that in your hands. All right. So now we need to talk real quick about this cash stuffing thing, this spending money just using cash. I'm still very hesitant about this whole cash thing. It makes me very uneasy carrying all that cash or keeping that much cash in the house or whatever. I know, John. So I think we definitely need to invest in a safe. You know what I mean? We definitely. Well, Jane, I have a safe outside. I mean, we can use the gun safe. I don't have any guns anymore, but I still have the safe outside. We don't have to. Oh, that's right. In the garage, all the way in the corner, covered with dust that we never ever use anymore. All right, Jane. Don't be a wise ass. We can just, I mean, it's a safe. We can just, any cash, we just put in that gun safe that I have up outside. I've been wanting to get rid of that for a while now anyway, but we'll just keep it. I mean, I don't have the rifles anymore, so we can just use that. All right, good. Well, that's good. At least now we have a safe place to put our cash. You never know. You just don't ever know. So, all right. So that's good. So what I'm going to do is, so today's Sunday, John. We get paid again on Friday. You have enough money for gas. I have enough money for gas to get through the week. I'm going to go grocery shopping this afternoon. Just pick up milk and some of the basic stuff that we need. The rest of the day, I am going to meal prep for the rest of the week. I already kind of looked at what was in there, and I don't think that I'll have to buy anything else, but we're going to go through what we have. And I'm going to spend the rest of the week after work. We'll come home. I'll make sure that dinner's done. We'll meal prep for the next day. And then I'll start a whole new thing. But at some point this week, John, we have got to sit down and figure out after tomorrow, after I talk to all of these companies with these past due bills, we have got to make time this week after the kids go to bed to set up our budget for Friday and figure out where our money is going to go and what we're going to spend on. We know it's going to be short because the checking account is overdrawn by $220. So right off the bat, $220 of your paycheck, because you get paid this week and I get paid next week. So I'm happy that at least we get paid every other week. You know, we have a source of income. So this coming Friday or before that, maybe, you know, Tuesday or Wednesday night, after I talk to all of these companies and figure out how much I'm really going to have to pay them, we're going to have to sit down and figure out how much cash do we need to take out of our paycheck and how much money we are going to pay with bills. So will you do that for me? I know you're very tired after work. I get that. And normally we can do this on the weekend. You know what I mean? On a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning. But we have to do that. All right, Jane, after work, Wednesday or Thursday, we'll sit down and we'll figure out where our money is going to go. All right, John. In the meantime, tomorrow I will set up envelopes. There's a couple of videos that I watched on how people set this process up and what is the best way to pay these bills instead of doing just automatic, you know what I mean? They're going to be paid on our pay dates, and I have to watch some more. I'm going to watch some more tonight. But we do have to go and get the kids around 4 because they have school tomorrow. I'll watch some more videos tonight, try to figure out how we're going to set this cash stuffing thing up, and we'll do that this week. All right, Jane. All right, then that's what we're going to do. All right, I'm going to spend the rest of the day meal prepping and making a list, and then I'm going to head over to the grocery store. All right, I'm going to go out to the garage, and I have to find the combination to the safe because I don't know where it is. All right, well, you're on it. And then, Jane, I'm gonna start purging some of my tools so we can start. And I'm gonna call that guy about the boat, and we'll see what he says. All right. Hi, everyone. It's me again. Well, I hope you've learned a little bit from John and Jane in this episode. If you're behind on your bills and you're struggling, and again, I'm doing this scenario as a couple. You can do these same things as a single person, as a single mom, as a single person, as whatever, single mom, single dad. I know that there are lots of single dads out there too. I'm very sorry I didn't bring that forward to begin with. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. These things that I've gone through, you can do no matter what your status is, your relationship status or whatever it is. Again, I'm going to go through, these are the things that John and Jane are doing. They went through their bank account to start with, and they cut off the things right off the bat that they know they can do to just cut the apron string, to just cut it and see a drastic difference. You know, no more Starbucks, bringing your lunch to work, meal prepping, canceling subscriptions that they don't need. They need to start tracking where their money is going. And that is an everyday thing. Every day when I get home from work or before I go to bed, I usually try to do it like right when I get home from work. I take my bill binder I take my bill binder and I start writing down everything that I have. I have this in my planner. And I write down. This way I am seeing where I'm spending my money. One of the big revelations for me way back when was how much money I was spending on Dr. Pepper. Okay? Dr. Pepper, where I work, is for, 20-ounce bottle, whatever it is, was $2.49. I was drinking 2 a day. Okay? So $2.49 times 2 is almost $5 times, and sometimes it was more. So 5 times 30 days in a month. I was spending almost $150 a month on Dr. Pepper. So tracking where your money is going is going to be a huge eye-opener for you. So make sure that that's one of the first things that you're doing, okay? Go through at least 3 to 6 months worth of your bank statements. It's going to be an eye-opener. It's going to be a shock. Feelings-wise, you're going to be, what the hell am I doing? Why? Oh my God. It's going to be feelings of guilt. There's going to be feelings of beating yourself up. You've got to get past that. You've got to get past that fear of beating yourself up. It is what it is, and it is in the past. There's nothing you can do about it. You can only change the future. Okay? Only change the future. So, start there. No more family loans. John and Jane decided that they were not going to borrow money anymore. They stopped using their credit cards. They stopped using their debit cards. No more. Okay? And then on this episode, you can see that they realized after Jane watched all those videos that they needed to have an emergency fund. Because and I know that this is probably one of the hardest steps to do, because you're like, wait a minute, emergency fund? I'm behind on all my bills. Am I going to keep my electric on, or am I going to put money in an emergency fund? So you have to get creative. Because if you don't have money once the emergency comes up, you end up taking it from your bills, and this is what puts you in the situation to begin with. Okay? So that's why John and Jane decided, instead of taking it from their paychecks to build the emergency fund, they're going to sell everything that they can. Because they know, deep down, Jane knows that they probably do not have enough money to catch up on all the bills and then have money extra to put into emergency fund. Now, this is a very hot topic because we get very possessive of our material things that we have. Okay? In our society today, the possessions that we have at sometimes makes us feel good. It's a comfort thing. We kind of like to show off sometimes with our possessions and our toys. John doesn't want to sell his motorcycle, but he'll sell his boat. He made a compromise, and that's what a lot of this is about. So they feel comfortable enough selling what they have, stuff that they don't use anymore, stuff that they're going to purge their house, they're going to get organized, and that is one of the things that probably start to make them feel better. They're going to take that money, they're going to put it into an emergency fund, in a separate savings account, not in your checking account. Separate emergency fund, and that's how you have to title this. Now, whether you want to do it at a bank or whether you want to keep that money in your safe, either one. It all depends on what you want to do. But these are some of the steps that are recommended from those. Again, I will put it out there. And like I said, every couple of episodes, I am going to put this disclaimer out there. I'm not a financial expert. I have no higher education when it comes to finances or investments or anything like that. I am not a psychiatrist. I'm strictly going on my own personal feelings and things that have helped me in the past. These steps are, they're out on the internet. They are recommended from people that do have education in financial and psychological degrees. So again, if you take these into account, you're taking it from somebody who doesn't have degrees in these fields. I just want to make that very, very clear to everybody. I'm going off my own personal experience and research that I have done off the internet from the experts. So just the disclaimer. But anyway, Jane started a bill tracker page so she can start tracking when her bills are due. And then in the next couple of episodes, we're going to go through how John and Jane are going to set up their bills to be paid. This is your foundation. Okay? You're going to have temptations every single day, and they are going to suck because you're going to feel worthless, but you are not. You are taking control of your financial future, of your kids' financial future, of your retirement, and we'll get into that at some point with John and Jane. They have virtually no money for retirement. They have nothing invested. So we're gonna again, we will tackle that as John and Jane go through these steps. So I hope that this was something, that this was a jumping point for some people in John and Jane's next adventure. So thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate it. Comment, like, subscribe if you're finding that this information is helpful, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everybody.